guys, it's Danny. Today I have a little bit of a plant haul. It's right here, and it's not an orchid haul, it's a plant haul. I have an orchid here as well, but I got myself some plants from the flower shop, very affordable plants, because I don't know, I think I kind of want to expand. I kind of have this wild ideas that I'm gonna actually mix up orchids with other plants on my shelves. Let me just show you how my shelf looks like. So on my shelves, I currently only have orchids, but I decided to mix them up a little bit. So I have cattleyas with some vandas, with some tolumnias and other things that are suited for this shelf, but they don't look the same. And I have to say, I really like this aspect. Now imagine having other types of textures there, maybe something with velvet leaves, maybe, I don't know, something variegated. I think it's gonna look good. So in my mind, I kind of want to develop into more of an aesthetic type of orchid growing channel. I will still do tutorials. Oh, you guys know I have like hundreds upon hundreds of tutorials at this point. I think the Orchid Care for Beginners is reaching 50, episode 50, oh my goodness. So I have a lot of those. And you know, if you have issues with your orchid, I'm sure I already have a video for it, and I will continue to do tutorials, but I kind of want to switch it up. I want something different is the idea. I want to grow orchids, but differently, in a more, I guess, oops, let's not destroy the mess that is my grow space at the moment. I just want it to look pretty. I don't know. I have something in my mind that I cannot really put into real life just yet, but I'm working on it. Plus, you know, at some point I'm gonna have a different grow room. Yeah, that's gonna happen at some point, hopefully within the next 5 years, but we'll see. So I want something else. I want it to be a cozy room where I can detach and just not think about anything other than my plants, you know? And I think that room would be improved by houseplants as well as orchids. So I kind of got myself a few houseplants just to see how we do with them. I might just end up killing them because I'm not very good at other houseplants. But okay, let me just show you what I got, shall we? So the idea is that I kind of don't want a greenhouse, not in the, let's say, traditional way, those commercial type of greenhouses. I discovered that I personally prefer more of a, I guess, sunroom is what you would call it. A cozy place, not luxurious or anything, but just cozy. I want a little chair and a fluffy carpet when I sit down and just detach from everything. It's so hard for me to detach, really. I kind of got a lot of things on my mind, not only this channel, and the only two instances in which I truly detach is when I'm driving and when I'm on the elliptical. And you know, this room is not really doing it for me because it needs so much work and it's not what I want it to be. And what I envision is a sort of sunroom, plant room, something cozy, something that is as clean as your home that has a lot of plants. And I do want to mix them up. I want to involve orchids with other types of plants. Maybe not necessarily a rose, but if you know me, you know that I did attempt to grow roses outside and I failed. I love roses, so I'm gonna try to grow them. Which brings me to the first plant that I purchased from the flower shop, only €6. For a bush of roses. I hope I don't kill it. But yeah, I kind of reflected a lot on my vacation, what I want in the future and what will make me happy first and foremost, what will fulfill me, and then where do I want to take the channel, you know? So they kind of go hand in hand. I want to have a nice sunroom or plant room, an orchid focus channel, but also a plant channel, because I do like other plants. I'm just not very good at growing them. Hopefully we'll change that. So I was at the flower shop today because I didn't go to the flower shop in a while. I am making some economies. I need to save up some money. There are priorities in our lives right now that I really need to focus on. So I didn't buy any more plants. But today I felt the need after all of these months. And of course I didn't find much orchids because flower shops, you know, they only have phalaenopsis, but I did find something nice. But I also found a few plants that I kind of always wanted, and one of them is a miniature rose. Now, I'm not necessarily good at growing these. I don't know if you can actually grow them in a home. I'm gonna try to grow them in this plant room and hopefully it works out. If not, you know, I tried. But I really want to because roses are amongst my favorite flowers. Roses, lilies, oh, callas as well. Obviously orchids, but that's besides the point. So I kind of really do want to grow a mini rose in a home. If you guys have some suggestions, do let me know in the comment section. Have you ever grown a miniature rose in your home? Not on the balcony, not outside. My outside right now is just often. My plants kind of suffered outside actually, so I'm gonna stick to my grow room. I think the first thing to do is to repot him, maybe, because I do think this is a pretty tiny pot, and I think, oh, I have the perfect pot. Yep, I think they will look so good in the Repot Me pots that they recently sent me. By the way, this is PR. Repot Me are my collaborators for a long time right now, and from time to time they do send me their new products for free, just to review, just to see what they're about and see if I like them. So this is from Repot Me. If you're interested, I will link the product down below. I think it will look very, very cute, don't you think? So yeah, you will be a little surprised that I chose pink. Fun fact, I actually like pink a lot. I just don't like it on orchids all that much. I don't know why. I prefer the red and orange and yellow tones, but on roses, oh yeah, pink, coral, red, I really, really love those. Even yellow, but finding a proper yellow that I like is really hard with roses. It's not fragrant, too bad. But yeah, let me know what you think about miniature roses in a home. Is it possible? Is it viable? How should I do this? I'm gonna put it right there next to my monstera. I'm gonna show you at the end of the video. Next up, here's one that I wanted for the longest time, but I did not get because I knew there were very high chances of me losing it and not caring for it. In the house, it turns out my houseplants don't do that great. It's a combination of me just not watering them and them having not enough light. It just doesn't work out. But now I decided to get it. This is the calathea. I think it's still a calathea or bifolia. I'm gonna make sure to put the name on the screen in a tag, the proper name, because these things have went through a name change as well, just like orchids. So I always wanted the tiny version of it because this one grows pretty large. And I wanted to grow it ever since she was a tiny little plant, because if it has pests, it's easier to treat now that it's tiny. And again, I think I'm gonna put it right there next to my monstera. And I think this will add such a beautiful texture. If anything, it will just enhance all of the orchids. And I did actually reach the conclusion that I really don't need more orchids unless I really like them, or I really want to have that orchid. I think I prefer the look of things with different textures than having only orchids, and especially only orchids of one type. And this is something that happens in life. As you grow older, or you just change your preferences, you will shift things around. Yesterday I liked the greenhouse look, or an entire shelf full of orchids. Today I don't like that anymore, and that's fine. If you go through that, let me know. It's fine to change your mind, it's fine to try out other stuff, and now I think I'm in a point where I want beautifulness. I don't want any more yellow leaves, to be fully honest. Oncidiums kind of kill me with that, but I'm gonna try to stay on top of removing the leaves, and that just happens because of the very warm climate. But I want beautiful leaves, because that will make the flowers of the orchids just pop. Don't you think so? That's what I believe. So that's why I got the orbifolia. It should be pretty easy to grow, and nowadays quite often findable in flower shops. That was a weird expression, but anyway. So yeah, I finally got it. I really like it. Okay, let's look at the orchid now, shall we? Because this is an orchid channel. But hey, I'm willing to start a new adventure with houseplants. A mini phalaenopsis. Well, of course, the flower shop doesn't have a lot of orchids, and particularly in summertime in my area, so I was really not expecting anything orchid related, but I found this little beauty. Again, if you know me, you know that I have a special place in my heart for miniature phalaenopsis. Not so much for the standard ones. It's weird how I really dislike the standard ones, but I am so in love with the miniature ones. These ones I love, even though they're maybe nothing special for some people. They don't have an ID, but they're very affordable and they make an impact. And especially when you have a YouTube channel, and especially when the #1 orchid people want to see is phalaenopsis, on average I'm saying. I know many of you are very passionate orchid lovers and you want to see new stuff, but trust me, if I take like the statistics, the analytics, most people go for the phalaenopsis videos. So I do have to have phalaenopsis to make videos about them and keep this channel alive. But Phalaenopsis take a lot of space. Well, I can get away with tutorials with miniature Phalaenopsis. They look the same, they're just as available, they're widely spread throughout the world, so many people have access to them, and they don't take up a lot of space, and I can do a lot of videos on them. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a few standard or big sized Phalaenopsis, and then just a whole lot of miniature Phalaenopsis. I have an entire shelf here of mini phals. They don't look like much now. They will look so much better if I put other houseplants between them, but oh boy, when they're gonna bloom. You just wait and see in January. Anyway, talking about today's orchid, I've never seen a mini phal with this coloration. You know what it reminds me of? One of my first more special Phalaenopsis, again from the flower shop. It was one of these Harlequin, not really Harlequin, but something very similar to this, but it was a medium-sized Phalaenopsis. So this one reminds me of 8 years ago, or 9 years ago, I think it was 9 or 10. Slightly before my YouTube channel, so maybe 9 years. When I found that orchid in the shop, I was with my mom and we saw it and I was like, oh, I want that orchid, it's so beautiful. I've never seen anything like that. And I actually did not see that particular hybrid ever again. I lost it to spider mites many years ago in my first battle with spider mites. And when I saw this one, which looks exactly like that one, just had to have it. She is absolutely fantastic. I love mini phals so much. Oh, it actually came with a very dirty little ceramic pot as well, which I will definitely reuse. Even with the glass shelves where I don't actually put ceramic pots, these guys are very light. They're miniature pots, so I'm okay with them. And the last plant, okay, this is something I've never seen in flower shops around here. You might know what this is, especially if you are following Jamie's Jungle, I think, is his channel name on Instagram. This is a lime green pothos? Maybe not. Something with lime green. Look at the coloration of this plant. It is amazing. If there's one green that I love, it's this apple green or lime green. I'm in the mood for a certain drink with mint and lime and another plant that I'm missing the name of. It's a cocktail, actually. I'm so in the mood for that right now because of the coloration of this plant. So this is a climbing plant, and what Jamie did was actually mount little hooks on his wall. I will link you to his channel down below. His Instagram channel is just so inspiring. His whole house, or actually the room that we see in the picture, is just so inspiring to me. I want to live there. That sounded creepy. No, I want to live in a place like that. I want to have a lot of plants around me. So when I saw this today in the flower shop, even though it's not really my cup of tea because this is not pet safe, I have some glass towers that I can put it in until it's gonna be moved in a different location. Okay, here it is. Oh my goodness. Do you see the amount of feathers? I swear I cleaned. They're losing feathers right now, and it's like, this happens in one day. I vacuumed here, not yesterday, but 2 days ago I vacuumed and it's back. So yeah, sorry about that. That's what you get when you have two fluffy birds. Tell them, Maya. Tell them it's not my fault, but you're shedding like nothing else right now. Okay, anyway, so this is where I'm gonna keep it. I kind of did a switch. I put these slim LED panels in this D12 shelf. I gotta do some cable management, but I wanna keep this here and hopefully it's gonna start to climb. I'm gonna put some hooks on this pin board from IKEA and hopefully it's gonna climb here. I think it's gonna look pretty. I could very well just put it in the other Visto shelf, like at the back of the shelf. The birds never get there, but I think I'm gonna keep it here just to be safe. I'm a little paranoid. I also have this guy right here, which is the Epipremnum pinnatum variegata. I almost lost this one. Oh boy. Maybe I can show you at the end of the video what I did with the other plants and how I revived them. So this one sits as well here because it's just out of the reach of the birdies. That one is not pet friendly either, so this is where I'm gonna keep it for now. I think we're gonna see. Although this light really takes a bit away from the color, it dulls it a little bit. I think you can tell. We'll see. But for now, he's gonna stay here. He's still very pretty though. Just look how everything looks. So pretty. Orchids there. We have a little flower there. We have the little rose, the little Phalaenopsis. the Orbifolia, and of course my beautiful poor little Monstera. Well, she's gonna be okay. She's doing okay now. But yeah, I just really like how everything looks. This is what I'm into right now. I want texture. I want variety, I guess, and not only in orchids, but with other plants as well. So what do you think? I think it looks very pretty. I asked you in my community tab, I think, if you want me to make some other types of videos with other plants actually. And some of you were excited about it, some of you were not so excited. I think eventually I will mix a few other houseplants with my orchids once in a blue moon. Because yeah, orchids are so pretty, but they're just amplified whenever they're next to something like this. Right? I don't know, is it just me? I feel like everything just looks better because of those plants. My focus is not on those plants. My focus now is, I don't know, it's everywhere, it's calm. Whereas when they weren't there, this did not look so good. What do you think? As for my little orchids, many of them are still outside. What I do is I clean them up because they do have pests, many of them do. And I clean them up, I spray them outside, not here, with my leaf shine, which has mineral oil, and then I bring them in here. Because this little pest that I have, which I do believe it's a sort of thrip, it's not as easy to get rid of, and I just want to limit spread. I want to limit it just going from one plant to the other, so I'm spraying everything before bringing them here. That's why things are still empty, but I'm doing a good job. I think slowly and surely, you know, it's gonna get done. It's just gonna take a little while. So yeah, when I'm done, I'm gonna show you the full extent of the plant room, but for now, I just take so much joy in how things look like. Very pretty. What do you think? Anyway, so that's about it for today. Oh, before I go, let me just show you. Okay, let's show you this. This is a little food container which has a plant inside that I almost lost. So I put it here just to propagate, and thank goodness I managed to propagate it. Look at that. Some of you will gasp because you know what this is. This is a Melanochrysum. Oh my goodness, Danny, the price! Yes, I know the price. I know how much this plant costs. That's why I decided to do this, and I'm so incredibly happy that I managed to revive it. But I think it's gonna be okay now. Again, let me know if you want me to make a video on these things, but she's not the only one. When I do something stupid, I do it all the way. Let me show you. But wait, there is another. Yes, I'm not done. This is my Florida ghost. Oh no, he's okay. He's bouncing back, but he's gonna stay here for a while. And do you want to know what that little stump there is? Which, do you see? I have something growing here. I hope it's gonna be okay. You want to know what that is? It's a Gloriosum. I just didn't have time, you guys. I went through a period where I really didn't have time the past few months, and guess what? These plants are not as hardy as orchids. Ha! Everybody says, oh no, orchids are so hard to maintain. No, my friends, no. These guys are. And that was the story with that one as well, but I managed to save it in that food container that had the Melanochrysum as well. I got it out last week, and here she is. This one grows very fast, and I guess it's the hardiest of the lot. It looked much better than the other ones, so it was easier for me to revive it. But yeah, orchids are much more tolerant to drought than these guys are. Alrighty guys, time to end it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me and seeing the little plants. And yeah, do leave me comments. Tell me, how do I care for this beautiful rose in the house? Because I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I can keep it in bright light. I'm gonna water it when it's almost dry. All of those basic things. I know, keep it warm, I know. But are there any other secrets that I don't know? So let me know, because I would love to have it. I would love to have a little bush in a pot in the grow room. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Alright, so thank you so much for watching again. Hope you have a great day. Subscribe to my channel for more orchid videos, tutorials, experiments, updates, and other fun orchid subjects. If you wish to support the channel, do consider becoming a member or visit the merch store linked down below in the description. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. It's always nice to stay in touch there as well. And with that said, I'll see you next time. Bye!